Y'all, there was one load. My dispatcher was like, "You think you can make this happen?" I told him, I said, "Look, I'm a pre-plan for a few minutes and I'm gonna let you know." So I ended up telling him, I said, "I'm confident that I can make it happen," knowing good and well I was not confident. But let me tell y'all, hopefully y'all can hear me over this truck running. It is hot outside and I'm trying to record this video inside the truck because this is trucking content. I could record it in my car that's sitting right in front of me, but I love my truck so much, I just want to be in it. Listen, y'all, to me, my personal experiences, the Peterbilt and the Freightliner is like, it's night and day. But I'm gonna get into that a little further on in this video. I want to touch on my first week running solo with Prime. Y'all, I did a total of 3,358 miles from last Thursday to yesterday, which was Wednesday. I got home yesterday around like, I think I popped the brakes around like 6:50, and I did a total of 5 loads, which 3,358 miles. Well, I left the terminal with like 30 miles on the truck, so 3,320 something miles. Technically, basically about the same thing. This week I have been running. I purposely, I'm not gonna say purposely, but I didn't record because I really wanted to lock in and get into like my little move and groove of things, because you know, I just got off my trainer's truck and then I hadn't did no loads in like two and a half to like 3 weeks, I think 2.5 weeks. And I just really wanted to find my own zone and just lock in. And then plus my laptop messed up on me and I wasn't able to really edit anyway. But yeah, 5 loads. I started out in Springfield. I left the terminal with a load that a team had brought in. It was shaky starting out because outbound, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if the guy was new or what. He had left the lock on, didn't give me my paperwork, forgot to give me some more stuff. So it's like I had to back up one time, and then another time something hit my mind. I had to go down to the Walmart, y'all know what I'm talking about, right down the road. Go down there, make a U-turn, and come back to the terminal. So it's like outbound, inbound, it was a mess. Even though I had just came right through and had to come back through, I had to wait for a trailer inspection, and he telling me, we're gonna have to put this trailer in a trailer shop. I'm like, you lying to me? This trailer had just got out the trailer shop and they wanted to put it right back in the shop. Somehow he put in the wrong numbers and they let me go ahead on about my day. But anyway, I done been to Indianapolis, Florida, 2 different parts of South Carolina, 2 different parts of Kentucky, and then back to North Carolina. And here I am now. When I tell you, they've been giving me loads back to back. Even before I would get to my 90, they would give me a pre-plan asking me like, hey, is this good? And of course, I'm not gonna turn down no loads right now. So I just say, yeah, it's good, I'm with it. It was one time, the load, I mean, it was tight. Now, there was one load, my dispatcher was like, you think you can make this happen? I told him, I said, look, I'm a pre-plan for a few minutes and I'm gonna let you know. So I ended up telling him, I said, I'm confident that I can make it happen, knowing good and well I was not confident. But let me tell y'all, them splits is what really kept me running. Like, even when I parked, I still had like, let me see, I can look now, still had like 5 hours left on my 70. So that's all I got. And then my recaps is looking pretty good. I'll show y'all that. But I'm starting to kind of build a relationship with my dispatcher. Even before I left the terminal, I went and introduced myself to him, conversation with him. You know, I check in. I've been getting my loads there on time, picking up early when I can. And I've been fueling pretty good, but all this week I've been having to push it 65 because the load times has been so close. The only way I would really make it is me pushing that 65. And even though I did 65 like every single day, anytime I was able to do 65, y'all know how they send you the message of like your average miles per gallon a week. It was like 8 point, let me see, so you don't think I'm 8.3. That ain't too bad. So maybe this week whenever I start out, I can kind of back it up a little bit to kind of get a little comparison. I'm not gonna say a comparison, but to just see how, you know, good or better the truck could run if I slow it down. Now shout out to you, Will. Before I left the terminal, he came to this truck and he like did a full like dealership breakdown. Y'all know how the dealership people talk to you, explaining everything, what the car can do. He did everything to this Peterbilt, and I learned a whole lot about this just by him. I think he spent like, we was on the truck for like 45 minutes. He was just going in detail about what this do, what that do, how to do this, how to do that. And he showed me his miles per gallon for the week and for his whole fleet thing, and I think he was averaging 9 something. He said he'd do 65. So I mean, this week what really did mess me up was the mountains. I had to hit the Tennessee mountains twice, going in and going out, so that kind of like messed me up. But whenever I'm driving like on straight flat land, up here they got like a miles per gallon on the dash while you driving. It would usually stay at around like between like a high 9 and a high 10 miles per gallon. Now when I was empty, on my way leaving my 90 to drop an empty trailer off at the Sanderson farm, that's why I had to drop a trailer in order to get me home. When I was empty the whole way, it was like averaging 11 miles per gallon. So I'ma still play around with it, y'all. I love the Peterbilt. I love it. I love my truck. I love my own space. Listen, if you're in TNT, I remember somebody else saying this in a video. If you're in TNT, you know, just be patient. Your time is coming. It's gonna be well worth it. Now, if you're dealing with a trainer, then y'all ain't getting along and you don't feel like you're learning, you know, you may want to switch your trainer, because I ain't gonna say that it's well worth it. But if you got you a good trainer, it's well worth it. There are a lot of things that my trainer taught me, or he don't even know that he purposely taught me, but because I pay attention and I watch, I said, okay, I remember him doing this, so I'm gonna do that. So I learned a lot from him. Mostly everything that I learned in TNT came into play this week. I was challenged with a lot of stuff, but I made it out. It's like whenever I did my first back, I had so much open space. I was struggling to get it in because it was so much space, but then whenever I went to this shipper, it was tight space. I got it in there with no problem. I only pulled up like one time just so I could open my doors, and it's like, dang, I had all this space at this other place. I even had to reset myself up because I was going somewhere, I don't know. I guess because, you know, it wasn't nothing on the other side of me where I could use as a reference point. But backing hasn't been my problem. What's been more challenging is trip planning, and I think I do pretty good with trip planning. I had to pull out my atlas. I had to look over a few things just to be sure that I could go that way. I have been using the Trucker Path app. That app is clutch. The app is clutch. I did order a GPS. I had it shipped to Campus Inn while I was waiting on the upgrade. Something happened. It's like the GPS glitched out and it won't come back on. I gotta ship that on back to Amazon, and I may just get me one from the truck stop, because the truck stop prices for GPS and online is basically about the same thing. But Trucker Path has been the truth. It lets you know like when wait stations is open. It lets you know how many spots. Oh, definitely, like Trucker Path is basically like top tier if you're looking for parking. because there's people on there constantly updating it. Okay, it's a lot of spots. Okay, the lot is full. And even with weight stations, it's letting you know like if the weight station is open or closed or anything. It's like people on there constantly communicating back and forth to let you know how this shipper or this receiver is. But only thing it is, you got to pay a monthly fee of like, I think $20-something. I did the 7-day free trial because I knew I was only going to be on the road for like 7 days. I give it a try out. But me personally, I think I may purchase it, have that running, and also have my GPS running, because even though Trucker Path is good, it do use your cell phone signal. So what happens if your cell phone lose signal or something happened to your cell phone, it crashes, and then now you out of a way of directions. I do have an atlas, but I'm not gonna be sitting up here driving looking at the atlas. I will be getting me a GPS the next time I go to a truck stop. This has been a good week. I feel like there's always room for improvement. Anytime I would get done at the end of the day to shut down, I would think about, okay, how could I have done this better, or how could I have done that better? Like, I always just, okay, go back throughout my day what I could have did. I want to talk about fuel, y'all. Even though I was running 65 all week, I feel like my fueling game was top tier. Now whenever I left, I'm gonna always keep referring back to the terminal, because that's where everything started. Whenever I left the terminal, this truck already had fuel in it. It had, you know, a couple gallons of fuel, but I put more fuel in there from my personal money because it wasn't gonna really affect me. My car used 93 for me costs about $4-something. So paying that much a gallon in fuel didn't really affect me. So I said I'm gonna give myself a little head start. It's either I spend this money in fuel, or I'm gonna just spend this money in food, or just in Walmart just wasting it or whatever. So I did that. So I did have a good head start on fuel. So whenever I may do the first check settlement or whatever, how people be doing, that's because I love watching them videos. I like making videos that I like watching because it helps motivate people, you know, give people something to look forward to whenever they get out of TNT. So whenever or if I do that video, y'all will see how much I spent in fuel, which is not too much, because anytime that they was seeing like your total estimate for that load, I would never put more than the fuel surcharge that they would give me. So say if it was like they gave you like $200 for a fuel surcharge, I'm not putting more than $200 worth of fuel in. I kind of like studied how this gauge is, and I think I kind of got it down with the confidence of how much I can run before I need to put some more in. And I'm ready to see what this check gonna look like. Today is Thursday, but we don't get to see our statement until like, I think it's like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. I'm on Eastern time. So yeah, that may be my next video. That may be. Comment down below if I should do, you know, a video on my settlement. I may do one like that for every Friday. Shout out to Trucker Will. I will always watch his videos. His settlement Friday, that's what he would call it. And it's very motivating, and it lets you know, hey, every week not gonna be a good week, every week not gonna be a bad week. So I'm not gonna talk y'all head off. I'm getting ready to go pick up a few more things for the truck, get my TV. I did buy the T-Mobile Wi-Fi, so if this Wi-Fi not good, y'all owe me some money, because everybody was saying get the T-Mobile Wi-Fi, and in my mind I'm like, how is T-Mobile Wi-Fi any good whenever T-Mobile service suck? And I don't got T-Mobile by choice. It's because Sprint converted over to T-Mobile, and that's just what I was stuck with. So I'm gonna try it out, and I'm gonna let y'all know how that go. But like this video, leave a comment down below. If you have any other questions, email me at slimepack392@gmail.com.